Okay, so I know I'm a week late, but there's no new episode this week, so let's talk about last week's episode. Just last week, Monday, when I normally watch and review it, I had to sit through 4 hours of the Snyder Cut, then Tuesday we talked about the Snyder Cut, then other stuff going on. So we're here now. We are here. So, let us get into Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 41, where I have noticed something insanely strange that I never thought I would notice, but it's something no other Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever bothered to do, and that is this random side character, an 11-year-old girl with a kind of silly design if she's supposed to look almost like a weird middle-aged librarian, has had a complete character arc all just in the background of all the other goofy insanity that is this show. Like, hear me out. So when we first met Ranze, she was just a goofy side character, Gakudo's assistant. She just was there to compliment Gakudo, which most Yu-Gi-Oh! Side characters are there to do. They're there to complement whatever aspect of the story they are there for, and very rarely do they ever get any more than that. That's not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Problem, that's most of fiction. Like, typically side characters don't really get anything except 1 or 2 episodes to make the actor happy. But no, this show decided that after a little while, they wanted to give this character a real episode. And I'm not talking about in the last Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the stupid, friend school kid character got an episode, but it was mostly just him being annoying. We got a legit episode where we learned about this girl's personality, her wants, her interests, her crush on Yuga. And then she lost the duel where another side character was actually made out to seem really cool for being, while an antagonist, a nice guy. So that's its own weird thing. Then they're out, which is natural for a side character. But then when she comes back, we have now developed the crush on the protagonist, a thing we see a lot of in Yu-Gi-Ohs, to be, no, she's just kind of a overly imaginative kid, and she, just sort of gets crushes on everyone and lets her imagination run wild. Now, it's evolved even further, and it's no longer about imagining a crush or being a princess or damsel or however you want to rationalize it. She now wants a full-on adventure of her own. She has imagined being the hero, going on crazy adventures just like our main characters, and wants to have a bigger role in the insanity that is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe, all while still having, her little fantasies and imaginations, which has now evolved even further. This is a complete fucking character arc! Why is it a side character? Why is Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's the one show that seems to decide, nah, fuck it, we're doing this? Do you all not get why I love this? Anywho, it's really adorable, it's really cute, it's really fun. It's just kind of that idea, this is a person. This is not, just a two-dimensional drawing. I mean, she is. But she has some level of reality and tact and, personal perceptions. All these little things. And so then, she goes up against Gakudo and crew, and Gakudo wins, because of course Gakudo is more important than this girl. But ultimately, she does decide to leave. She does decide to go off and have an adventure, and I really like the idea that Gakudo supports this. Gakudo is always made out to seem like this very, anal, very, OCD-esque type character, always kind of everything needs to be that so, and that sort of reflects how he treats other characters in the show, and also, more importantly, in shows like this that need to go on for 3 years, status quo is very important, especially in one like this where it's much more lighthearted and silly. But, no, Gakudo just is I like having her around, and I like having her as a friend and all that stuff, but he respects the fact that she wants more out of life. The weird little backstory the brother gives that their family, I guess, just always serves Yu-Gi-Oh players or something. Whatever that was about. And he's just kind of like, if she wants to go on and, like, change and grow, like, it's not my right to stop her. That's such a great little character moment for Gakudo. Gakudo seems to be one of the fan favorites from this show. I'm not entirely sure why. But I like that little idea of just, like, no, he has more to him than just whatever joke he has. He's willing to kind of lose a friend for a little bit if it's what she wants to help her. I think that really makes him a lot more endearing than, Soul Burner. So then she's gone, and then the last thing at the end of the episode is she's going to be working for Nail. This kind of is a big deal. Not really from a plot perspective, because what the fuck is she gonna do? We know that Yuga, Nail, Roa, and Asuna have something to do with Otis. We see that in the opening. We will get to that eventually, but I can't imagine her being here is a big deal. And since Nail is no longer on the bad guy's side, it makes you wonder, what are these two going to do together? And that sort of makes me realize that, by God, I am more interested in them as people than whatever plot relevance this has. Maybe for Nail, this is Nail's first real friend. Like, someone he can really, like, hang out with. And maybe not relate to, but maybe it's kind of like he's just helping her out with rush duels, or trying to, like, teach her some computer skills, or all this stuff. And I feel like we will just see these two together, like, doing stuff. That could be a lot of fun to watch Nail kind of grow as a person. Yeah, like, so many of the Yu-Gi-Ohs, the antagonistic characters, don't grow as people, but this kid just might, and it's going to be because a random side character who ultimately serves no purpose is gonna be near him. And, like, obviously a lot of people will turn it into a shipping thing. Rightfully so. I could see them going that route to some capacity. But there's just something kind of wholesome about where this could go. And it's weird, and it's fun, and I love it, which is what I say every week. Yeah, that was Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 41. I just still can't get over that this is what this show chooses to do. It chooses to prioritize character and fun over plot to the point where the most relevant and important thing in the world is literally just, like, this 11-year-old love-struck kid who's gonna go hang out with a weird computer nerd. I kind of need to see this. Oh, also, I almost forgot, Rush Duel Tournament is coming. Also, Kaizo and Luke hanging out. That was great. Like, I really like the idea that these two, who could not be more fucking opposite of each other, two characters you never expect to have any association, just had this really fun set of scenes together. I like the idea of pairing off characters like that, which they're doing with the other two I just talked about. And then, of course, naturally, they paint the skull blue. That's kind of funny. And then Tiger shows up, and as always, Luke gets his just desserts for his nonsense. Always a good time. A Rush Duel tournament, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! You gotta have your tournament arc. Granted, the last one didn't, but the one before that had like 3! So, that's we'll get there when we get there. And now for the TCG question of the week. It is being reported there was a big, I think it was like either a luxury or an extravaganza tournament this past weekend that was won by prank kids. Not only that, Cubics topped and Tri Brigade topped as well. So that, I know Tri Brigade is kind of catching steam, but still. So yeah, that is pretty fucking crazy. So my question for you, what would be, like, your dream, like, top tournament results to see? Like, just the most random assortment of what the fuck decks topping that would make you happy. I personally have always thought it would be ridiculous if we ever reach the point where it would be something like Trickstar, Melodious, Marinces. I want all the waifu decks, because for those of you who don't remember, there was like a format where like the 3 decks were like Geist, Trickstar and Sky Striker were the three big decks. Those are feminine-inspired designs, and it kind of made me laugh. So tell me about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for God knows whatever happens next.